it's Nancy Jane Smith, and I am here with another edition of Live Happier Q&A. Today's question actually comes from Jessie, and it is a really good question, and I know a lot of you will be able to relate to it. She says, I hate to admit it, but I've really been frustrated because people, really my husband, aren't working as hard as me. I just don't feel like he's pulling his weight. Okay, Jessie, I think this is a really common problem that a lot of women have to deal with. And the first thing I'm going to ask you is to get really clear and to be really honest with yourself. Is your husband really lazy? Or is he just not being able to see what needs to be done? So I'm not asking you to, I'm not excusing your husband from not pulling his weight. I'm not saying that's okay by any means. But a lot of times what I've observed in my private practice, in my own relationship and with relationships of my friends, is that we as women who can have the tendency to see what needs to be done is not a personality trait a lot of times of our partners. They can't necessarily see that stuff needs to get done. And so what happens is we just do it. And we take on more than we need to, and then we end up getting bitter and grouchy and upset at our husbands who really have no clue that this is happening. So the first thing I want you to do is to get really clear and really ask yourself, is my husband truly lazy, or is he just not seeing this stuff? And if I were, and I do have to ask him for what I want, what would I ask him? So to kind of sit down and start divvying up the chores, you know. If I cook the meal, he does the dishes. If I do the laundry, he does the mowing of the yard. However you want to do it, and it doesn't have to be traditional men, traditional women jobs. It can be whatever you like doing. You know, in our house, I like doing laundry, so laundry is something I do. My husband likes to vacuum. Vacuuming, all him. So to kind of divvy up. But what happens is we assume that our partners know, A, that we're frustrated at them, and B, what we're frustrated about. And most of the time, they don't have any idea. So you need to get really clear on what is important to you and what things can you let go of in your own daily chores. And two, communicate those needs to your husband. Sit down alone without the kids, have a conversation about what needs to be done. When does it need to be done? How does that need to happen? You know, in our household, we sat down and we communicated about this. And so we decided that I would cook the meal and my husband would do the dishes. Now, he said, I don't really want to have to jump up right after the dinner and do the dishes. So we agreed. The dishes had to be done by the next morning and they had to be soaking, which was fine. So I just didn't want to put all this caked on dirt in our dishes. So we set up rules and parameters, and that helped us. The other thing I would encourage you to do is to let go. So to recognize that your husband isn't going to do it in your time frame, he isn't going to put the dishes exactly back the way they should, and you need to let go of that. You need to pick either you're going to be in control and you're going to get everything done and you're going to be miserable, or he's going to step up and do the stuff you're asking him to do in the way he does it. So there has to be a little compromise happening there, Jessie. And sometimes I know we're not real good at that. So that's my answer for you, Jessie. Get really clear on what you need him to do. Sit down and communicate with him about what that is. And then let go when it doesn't happen the way you need it to happen. Celebrate the small victories. Celebrate the stepping up. Celebrate the noticing of the dishes. Celebrate that the kids got out to school okay, and let go of some of the frustration. Hope that helped. If you have a Live a Happier Q&A question, please send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have any tips for Jessie or how you have handled a similar situation in your family, just drop it in the comments below, and we'd love to hear you. So take care. Have a good one. Bye.